Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be part of the Global IA Week. I am here to introduce Tuya Smart, and I have the topic of how to generate smart homes that are intelligent but also sustainable. I will say a brief story about myself. I have more than 12 years in the telecom industry. I have a master's degree also in development and sustainability. That's why I think it's important to see the opportunities that are for the sustainability with the IoT technologies. I'm also, I have a background of as an expert in the consumer's behavior that is also very related to the topic of the sustainability, but also of the technology. And right now I have close to 3 years as a head of alliances for Tuya Smart in the areas of government, smart cities, manufacturers, and telecom operators. Briefly talking about Tuya became as the first purely IoT company or focused on IoT business in the stocks market of New York. It's also in the company is also in the stocks market of Hong Kong. And saying like in an easy way, Tuya, it's very important because it became the hub, an universal hub to connect the biggest amount of smart devices. Basically, the number of SKUs is above 500,000 right now. There are more than 5,000 companies or manufacturers, fabrics around the world. There are even in Mexico right now, manufacturing all the devices that are in the ecosystem of Tuya Smart. There are companies making light bulbs, smart home appliances, sensors, kitchen appliances, cameras, everything that is needed to make a space smart, to make it more easy to be controlled, to get the information from that space. Tuya has all these companies working with us to create this ecosystem. We have also, imagine, it's important to mention that the cloud of Tuya gets more than 80 billion requests every day, from a bulb changing the color, from a video detecting a person, vacuum cleaner starts beginning the operation. Every operation that all these smart devices will make are interactions with our cloud to make this possible between your smartphone and any software that you use to this hardware. So also a lot of these devices are possible or make possible to be controlled by voice commands. So that's why I'm saying that we have more than 120 million of interactions with Alexa, with Google Assistant, turning off a device, turning off a light bulb, etc. And the response time is also very, very, very fast, which is very important because not all the time the ecosystem is about comfort. Many times it's about security, and there is no space to wait for the device to give you the information that you need, right? So this is why basically Tuya became so powerful as company in the IoT business, and so important for the user, because basically you don't need now 10 apps in your cell phone to control the vacuum cleaner one, another the pet feeder, another the lighting, another the camera, another the security sensors. And most important, if they are under the same software, under the same ecosystem, you can create the smartest scenarios, which is super important. To open a door, a door sensor will detect that you're opening the door, and the vacuum cleaner will start the cleaning or stop the cleaning. It will turn off the lights, etc. Why? Because everything is under the same app. Also, it's very important to say that right now everybody is part of the IoT ecosystem of Tuya and other brands. But of course, talking about Tuya has these 4 steps or pillars where everybody is collaborating to give somehow information to the clouds. So the first one is the chips. In the chips area, there is not much to say about Mexico because everything is manufactured and created in Asia. But in the other 2, 3, and 4 pillars, every company can find a way to create an IoT business or to be part of it. So in the second place, after you have the device, the smart device, let's say a cafeteria and a smart bulb, vacuum cleaner, you have the chip inside it, and it's able to communicate to the cloud of Tuya and to the app. Then you will have the device with the brand, the original brand, or branded as you need. So many companies in Mexico will get branded the devices with their own brands, and they will not have the product with the brands from China, right, or from Mexico, because we're making sensors, for example, manufactured in Mexico. But it's the same thing. A company in France that would like to buy these sensors from Mexico could have them with their own brand. So the second part is to create a brand with the hardware. Apart that, of course, you can create your brand with the software, because the app of Tuya can be branded with your own brand. So your brand will be in the hardware and in the software. Tuya will never appear, and your brand is the only one that will appear, right? So the third one is how you will sell it. You can sell it offline or online. So of course, e-commerce is a very important ecosystem. If you're creating an e-commerce, you could have your full brand of products branded with your e-commerce name. But if you have an offline and online store, that is the case of many companies, you can also have the sales channel, but not all the time the brands. Like, you can work with a lot of different brands that will work with the ecosystem of Tuya, right? And another part that is very important is not just where I buy, what image or branding will the products will have, the software will have, but who's gonna get the ownership of that product that I'm selling. Let's say that you will sell 1,000 cameras to a hospital, or you will sell sensors to make some project in a smart city, or you will come to a school to put the smart lighting, etc., or to control the ACs. Who's gonna install the devices? Who's gonna monitor those devices, etc.? There is the fourth pillar, where all these companies that will get experts or become experts in the IoT devices will get the deals from other companies and get the ownership of the installation, the monitoring, etc. So there are many different kind of business and opportunities in the IoT ecosystem, where several companies can fit in. Also, what is very important to mention is the communication in the IoT devices. The importance is how you will connect it to internet, basically. So in the top of the mind of majority of the people, all the IoT devices are Wi-Fi. But the reality is that Bluetooth is very important, Zigbee is very important, and many other protocols, the 4G devices, because how you will have a camera, let's say in a public park, if there is no Wi-Fi, if there is no electricity. Well, we have solar and 4G devices for smart cities, especially. It's very important. There you have the trackers. You can have the trackers in the scooters. So all these 4G protocols will talk to the cloud of Tuya and then to your cell phone wherever you are. It doesn't need to be in the same Wi-Fi network or the same network, basically, right? So we have devices that will be in different protocols. Zigbee is also very important, because the Zigbee protocol will, imagine if you have a restaurant with 100 lights, 100 lights will not be connected to a router through Wi-Fi. It can, but maybe the router will start disconnecting many of them, and you will open a door and they will not turn on. But if you have them in Zigbee networks or in Bluetooth networks, they will all become the 100 lights will come to the gateway, and the gateway will be the only thing connected to the router. And also the devices will keep operating even if there is any problem with the internet, because the gateways will keep the information of the interactions and the scenarios, right? Also, we have, as I said at the beginning, we have the interactions with Amazon, with SmartThings, with Google Assistant. Everything is done in our systems, either in the app or in the SaaS softwares. You can make or control the devices with these voice assistants, thanks to these alliances. This is a small example of how you can put the devices. The same devices can be in a smart home, they can be in a hospital, they can be in a school, they can be even in a stadium. But the thing is how you will, as I was saying, how you will connect them to internet. So to not lose more time on explaining how you will connect them in this example to internet, let's say it's gonna be Wi-Fi because it's in a smart house. You will have the cameras, you will have the smoke sensors, gas sensors, liquid sensors in case there can be a flood in the streets, maybe. The window and door sensors that are very important, not just to turn on or off lights, but also to get the information of when someone is entering. For the people that has Airbnbs, it's a very important thing to know that the guest is already at your home or left or already did the checkout, right? So you have also the smart locks that can be the first device that will turn on all the interactions of the house. The doorbells, the switches, the control panels, the AC gateways, curtain motors, and PR sensors, right? So this is a very basic example of all the devices that you can have in a smart house. That also is very important to know that you can go into Amazon, you can go in an offline store, get from different brands, and as much as you connect them with the same app that is compatible with Tuya technology, you will be able to have several brands in your house without any problem and make them interact, something that many other competitors will never offer you. And also the variety of devices that you will have, it's also like very, very important with Tuya. So what I was saying, here you will have the router connected somehow with different protocols to your app. Your app will not care that you will have some Zigbee devices, some Bluetooth devices, some Wi-Fi devices, some 4G devices. Everything will be in your app. You will control it regardless the protocol, and it will interact with the devices. If they are Wi-Fi, as you guys can see here, the device itself will connect to the router and hence to your cell phone. But if you have a Zigbee gateway, then your cell phone and through the cloud and the router will go to the gateway and it will connect to all the Zigbee devices, which will save a lot of IPs from being connected to the gateway. That's why it's so important. And for the lighting scenarios, is a must to have Zigbee devices. So in Tuya, we have mainly 8 categories that will have more than 2,700 types of devices. But let's say that the most important ones, wherever your industry is, you will find devices that will be interested for your business, or either to commercialize with them or to use them for your own benefit, because there are energy saving devices, a big variety of them. Electric and lighting, you can have every kind of lighting devices, LED devices, smart bulbs, etc. in a lot of different of them. But also you can have wall switch. If you don't want to change all the bulbs in a space, you can just change the wall switch. So all the electricals, we have them. You can also, with the smart plugs, you can make a lot of devices that are not smart, like fans, cafeterias. You can control the on-off with these devices. So that's why they are so important. We have also the big and small kitchen home appliances. There are vacuum cleaners. There are every kind of device, cafeterias, smart cafeterias, everything that is needed for the house. We have also the entertainment area, the outdoors, where there are, as I was saying, there are even scooters in the catalog. There are even more electrical cars. Fitness and health, every kind of sleeping trackers, smart watches, etc. The security sensors, which is one of the biggest areas in the catalog of Tuya, because there are cameras, there are literally every kind of sensor that is needed. And finally, even some agricultural and industrial devices that are more specific for certain industries, but we have them because we have some protocols that can be very far from the source and give the information that is needed to track whatever you need in the agricultural spaces, let's say. So to make it more clear, I will share a small video where I will explain you different devices. Here you are seeing like solar lamps that are Bluetooth. You are seeing the curtain motors. This is also a solar one. SOS buttons, door and window sensors, gas sensors, water purifiers, these devices that will deactivate the system. The sirens that are super important to get the information from the rest of the sensors, the gateways, different kind of cameras. And more important, I will show here small scenarios that you can create with all these devices in the scenarios, right? So, for example, here I click on and off to interact with the alarms, with the sirens.
Alexa, enciende showroom.
Here I just say it in Spanish, a command that you can say it in English in the same Alexa. You don't even need to change the language. I said turn off showroom or turn on showroom, which is that I'm just controlling the smart plug that is linked to the fan. And as if there is a scenario to if this one is on or off.
Alexa,
on,
apaga showroom.
and off everything, that's exactly what is happening. That's why the fan is going to stop working. And the fan is a very simple one. It's not a smart one.
Alexa, enciende showroom.
This is another perspective. So all the lights come off or on, and
Alexa, apaga showroom.
the rest of the devices, because the turn off with the fan is called showroom. You can do that in an hotel to call it system or to call it room. Okay. And it's super simple. Here I'm showing how the cameras looks in the app. You will see which ones are disconnected, connected, which ones are in this location. In the other one, you can see very, very clearly 16 videos. You can track animals like I am showing there. The smartwatches, there are some of them that have Alexa. So you can make all the interactions through your smartwatch. These are the different panels for the products. This is the water purifier, for example. But you will have a very different panel for a camera, for a sensor, for entertainment devices, etc. Right? This is the air purifier, for example. You can see the decibels and the levels of particles in the air. And this is another very important scenario. The smart lock, as I was saying, this can be an Airbnb. With the fingerprint, the owner will enter, but the guest will enter with a code. So when the client opens with the code, you will choose which devices to turn on. In this case, I'm turning on the lighting because it might be one guest, but if it's a family, maybe I will decide to turn on also the TV and the AC. In this scenario, you're not seeing it. So basically, this is what I wanted to show in this video. And I hope it was like an interesting exposition of what you can do, either if you're a commerce, even if you want to use all the devices to make your spaces better for your business or for your own comfort or security. Here are my contacts from Tuya, my personal LinkedIn. I will be more than happy to get information and contact from all the people that is here with us in this event. And please feel welcome to contact me if you're interested in everything that I say or in part of it. It doesn't matter. I think what is very important to say is that with the IoT devices, we need to be very creative. And sometimes it's difficult when you're new to the technology, but almost everything can be achieved with all these kind of technologies and devices. And in 2 years Smart, we are here to help. Thank you so much again for the opportunity.